Ready? Episode 5 of DNM Cast.
Huge.
It's flying by. It's absolutely flying by.
Wow.
Appreciate our support last week for Ned. It was great to have him on. So got a different guest this week, which I'll hand over to Diezel to introduce.
So today we're introducing Beau Brooks. How you been? Good?
Yeah, very good, boys. Thanks for having me on.
Been a big star from the early rise of 2000s. Also known of being in a group of boys that fucked around and did what they did.
Had fun,
the Janoskians, yeah. But no, this is sick. This is huge for me, especially. I don't know. I remember in COVID and stuff watching like all the Janoskian videos. We'll get into it. We'll hopefully have a good episode. But yeah, sick.
Yeah.
I appreciate you boys for having me on. And you told me that you guys have only been going for 4 weeks and you're already pulling in real numbers. So it's nice to come on. And the reason I think you've drawn such attention to yourselves is because you're on that wavelength and you're on that frequency that a lot of people want to tune into. So it's nice to sit down and speak to people on the same wavelength. And I feel the same kind of camaraderie that I had with my mates that we blew up when we blew up.
Yeah.
I feel like you guys are like a Janoskians with your like friendship and your cheekiness. So keep going.
No, it's an honor to have you on. I was a massive fan of what you were doing back in the day. I was growing up, watched it, and I'm probably a bigger fan of what you're doing now. So
thank you.
No, we really appreciate it.
We're just little fanboys over here, really.
We'll get into it.
Yeah.
I really do like it though, what you're doing now.
No, I appreciate that a lot, man.
Fucking,
it's really cool because growing up with all the jokes and stuff, like we showed that young side, and now that I'm older, where I'm maturing with the people that watched me from like such a young age, like such as yourself. So it is nice for it all to come back full circle, 100%. And I want to give as much value and input as I possibly can with what I've experienced, because I've experienced what a lot of people are trying to aim for, the success that a lot of people want. So it's nice to be on the other side to tell everyone, this is what it is. This is how I experienced it. And this is kind of like where not to fuck up. And this is how to come out of the fuck ups.
Yeah. And it's just good to see. It's just honest and authentic. And I think that's what everyone's drawing to now. It's just seeing that different side of you. And obviously, as you are maturing, I think it's just really good to see.
Yeah.
And I love watching all the content and I love seeing just a different side of it.
Thanks, man.
It's not just the pranks and the superstar, the rock star life you live. And now it's just genuine, honest conversations with people that love to listen.
Yeah, thank you, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
So before we kind of kick it off, for anyone who is somehow unfamiliar with Beau and his journey and somehow hasn't heard of him in the last 20 years, then do you want to give a brief introduction? If you've been living under a rock,
I didn't think we even needed to.
If you've been living under a rock, you want to give a brief introduction on yourself, what you're doing now, where you came from, your journey.
Yeah, sure. So I kind of came up in the YouTube era before it was a YouTube era. So when YouTube was coming up, when I was on it, it was like Charlie bit my finger. I don't know if you remember that video. So it was those kind of like funny home videos. There was no consistent content creators. I was kind of like the first to come out of Australia to do that. And I kind of took taking 3 liters of milk and chugging it and throwing up everywhere to the next level where like I signed movie deals with Mike Tyson. I toured the world 4 times. I got TV show deals. I got movie deals. I lived in LA, got a mansion, like went to red carpets, presented awards to Avril Lavigne, partied with Ed Sheeran. Like I took 3 liters of milk to the next fucking level and made it a career and created something for the internet to follow along. So that's kind of my story and what I was renowned for. And I'm back after about 6 years of falling off the edge of the planet through drugs and alcohol. And I'm back creating again. And I'm here now.
He's back and he's not leaving anytime soon.
Definitely not. I've got a formula.
Got lessons that you've learned and you can probably implement now. But as evil as fucked up as it may sound, it could like be a blessing in disguise. So your content now, I feel like, is helping and impacting a broader range of people. In the sense of the Get Sober With Me challenge. Yeah,
so I've been sober for 14 months. Yeah. Which it's not that long, but it's enough to...
It's a lot. It's a lot in someone that does obviously drugs consistently. Like people that like even my dad, like if he tries to quit smoking or something, like a week's huge for him. You know? He's been smoking for like 25 years. If he gets a week without smoking, that's fucking like congrats to him, you know?
Yeah.
But like seriously, it's making a huge impact. People watching as well, trying to just join along on the journey. Yeah,
I should take more credit and thank you for giving me the credit.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's just I know that it's going to be like a 20, 30 year thing. So when I look back at this, 14 months for me is still a very baby, but it has set the foundations. Yeah. So what I wanted to do was to get people to get sober in 30 days, because 30 days, as you said, 1 week is so big. And if I can get someone sober for 30 days and they feel the same kind of accomplishment and pride that I feel after 14 months, and get them to carry that on and to remain sober.
Yeah.
So that's why I created the Get Sober With Me in 30 Days. And every single day I go on the internet and I kind of tell them my values that have been distilled in me from what I've learned from going sober, and just give tips and advice here and there.
Yeah. Yeah. Fuck yeah. No, it looks like it's going well. And like, as you said, 14 months might not be big in the scheme of things in terms of 20 and 30 years, but like there's probably someone listening on day 2 who's 40 months and probably taking inspiration from that. So it's huge. And I think any achievements big, even the 30-day challenge, competing that is
and
huge.
you're your own biggest critic. You're always going to be hard on yourself.
Yeah.
So I think you got to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
And I think it's always going to bring a little bit of kindness sometimes.
Yeah.
And 14 months, that is massive. So it's a huge congratulations, and I hope that it keeps going very well.
Thank you very much.
And look what you're doing now. Like, it's awesome for everyone that looking at you now.
Yeah.
It's pretty special.
It means a lot, boys. And like, I really do want to help encourage the youth and you guys and your generation to really just focus on fucking success. Because like, it's so easy to do, like, because nobody's doing it. Like someone said it once before, like our generation is so easy to be successful than what it was back then, because everybody's just falling into the pit of temptation.
Exactly.
Back to like the early days of you guys, looking back at the Janoskians videos, like it's a trip down memory lane for me. Looking at those, you kind of like paved the way for people like Nelk, you know, the Nelk boys. You really did. And like those guys have obviously like kind of built the foundation from pranks and built this whole empire now.
Yeah.
Could you ever see, looking like back at your POV probably 15 years ago, could you see the Janoskians being at that point, or do you not regret the turns you took in terms of the record deal?
Oh, okay. So could I see myself being as big as Nelk?
Yeah, in terms
back
of like,
LP?
because they're still doing pranks and stuff. So could you still maintain the pranks for that prolonged period of time?
Are they still doing pranks? Because
here and there they're doing like they're fucking with each other still and stuff.
Yeah. You know, like I'd love to still do that and like think of really well thought out, expensive type of pranks, one off every year.
That's what
or
they're
something.
doing, I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, but more so fucking with each other, not the public like they used to. I think.
Yeah. I'd love to do that, but and like I wish that it went in the direction that Nelk took it. I guess we were the first stepping stone, and they always say the second people to do it always do it better.
Yeah, learn off your mistakes probably as well. Yeah.
And did you have inspiration from other people, like things like Jackass? And I think Jackass might have been at that time. Well, it was, wasn't it?
It was. Yeah.
Did you get like,
no, Jackass was a bit earlier, but
a little bit. Did you?
Jackass
it was like 19.
Yeah, like 20 years before. Yeah. 15 years before.
No one else is really doing any like pranks or things like that. So
no one was going on trains and like doing chicken noises and shit. That's how everyone does it now. It's normalized now, but like back then it's just like kind of like the trailblazers.
Yeah, if Diezel doesn't do it on a train, it's weird.
I was talking to Luke yesterday, and we were talking about you obviously, and we were talking about the foundation of social media. And like honestly, like you started huge trends. Like I don't know where you got it from or thought about it, but like door knocking in 3 steps. Like sculling milk, like you said, like so many things that like people.
And the 3-step door knocking was international.
Exactly.
As well. Like sculling milk was all over Australia. 3-step door knocking. Like we saw fucking people in like Italy doing that shit. Like,
I was like, we should do that seriously. Like fucking, that'd be funny as. But nah, seriously, how did you just come up with all those ideas of like what to do and things? Because it was really successful.
Yeah, it was always just us having fun.
Yeah.
And we did get a lot of inspiration from Jackass. Like growing up, we'd do the stuff off camera that Jackass would do, and it was kind of like who's got the most balls type of thing. But us 3-step door knocking we used to do before we filmed it on camera, and that was literally just such an adrenaline rush.
It's fun.
I was just like, oh fuck, because we were young, we're like, oh, we're gonna get caught, like we're gonna get like done by the police and stuff. We thought it was just like fun. And we got that on camera, and before you know it, it just like it blows up. You just never know what's gonna blow up. And like what you said before is that like my content right now is genuine and authentic. Even back then, it was always genuine and authentic. Like we were always just having fucking fun. And just if whatever correlates over to the camera, people can resonate with, and it just like everyone wants to share it because it's like the internet is the new form of connection, like from mind, spirit, everything. Like, so yeah, 100%.
Definitely. So obviously, who at the very start was just 3 brothers and 2 friends having fun. Who picked up the camera and decided let's film some pranks?
Were you the leader? I feel like you were the kind of the leader of the pack, weren't you? You were like definitely the...
Yeah,
He was the face. Yeah. He was the pretty face. Yeah.
I was always the most like, I don't know, outspoken, I guess. Yeah. I always knew what direction I wanted to take it in.
Yeah.
And yeah.
So he's had the vision for it and...
Always had the vision. Yeah, since a young age, like I always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted fame. I don't know why. I don't know, probably correlates to me with my daddy issues. Sorry, I can't.
I was like, oh shit, what's going on?
Yeah, my brother picked up the camera.
What do I say here?
My brother was the one that picked up the camera. He's always been the camera guy, and that's because my grandmother, he always looked up to my grandmother, and she was always filming, so he picked it up.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I love you, Mum.
Did you have like a musical side from the start, or was the music side of things kind of a marketing move?
Nah, it was a marketing move by Sony, but I was playing the guitar since I was like 11 years old.
Yeah.
My dad actually, when he left me, he actually left a guitar. So it was something that I always like picked up and played around.
Yeah.
And I got guitar lessons from a mate. And then me and my brothers invested some of the YouTube money that we were getting into singing lessons.
Yeah.
And for about 6 months, we went to singing lessons because we always loved music. My mum grew us up on Nirvana, The Doors, kind of like grungy, kind of punk rock type of stuff. So yeah, we did singing lessons for like 6 months, and then Sony picked us up, and it was just perfect timing.
Yeah. And what did that look like, the record deal? Was it like, do you give us the details of that? Because obviously I'm not too familiar in the music industry. What were like the perks, benefits? What did you get out of it?
Money.
Yeah, that's probably the main benefit. Yeah.
Lots of money. They also offer like a lot of marketing. So you'll get pushed and played on the radio. You'll also get like commercialized and stuff like that. So it did definitely help the brand for sure.
Yeah.
And pushed us out to like a larger audience, which is all just like snowballs together.
Were you nervous exploring like different realms of your career? Yeah. So going to the music industry, obviously you're doing pranks and skits and mockumentaries and all things like that. Were you nervous going into the music industry and putting yourself out there in that light?
It's funny because we're getting so many opportunities. You don't have any time to be nervous. It's just you show up to the next meeting and you just do what comes along.
Yeah.
But we did get like a lot of hate for going into music. People saying, "Oh, the sellout skins, the auto-tune skins, everything with skins."
They're brutal, aren't they? The haters are.
Yeah, the haters. Little fuckers.
You're still getting hate, regardless of how positive and like.
How fucking crazy is it? It's so nuts.
Like your comments are still full of people like, just give it up, bro. Like you're a sellout. Like seriously.
Yeah, no. Someone. I'll actually read a comment that really stood out to me. It was,
yeah, it just kind of took me back. I was going through the comments. I was like, how is this bloke still getting hate? Like he's probably doing the most. Like,
here's the thing. Hate is just law. It's the law of the universe. Negativity is law of the universe. No matter what, there is going to be negative and there's going to be good. And the more you reach towards the sun, the further your shadow gets. So like there's going to be so much negativity. So I think the more negativity there is means the more successful you're getting. But someone was literally like to me, you got famous from drinking 3 liters of milk. You became a junkie. And now you're trying to get famous again. And I'm like, you're just like, people are just so insincere, and it's only the people. So to become successful, you have to have hate, and it's only the people that haven't tasted any success. If you want to become world stage success, you're going to get world stage hate. And it's the only people, it's the people that don't understand that have never tried before.
Yeah.
And they're taking out their, I don't know, persona on you for validation from other people, pretty much.
Yeah, so. I don't know if you've seen, but ours has been pretty brutal as well. Yeah, like the hate we've been getting on our videos.
Yeah, we're talking about this a little bit before. It's a lot of sarcastic,
like, you need a podcast license or something. Like, this shit sucks. So like, Or like even saying like, yeah, fire content, bro, like obviously take the piss.
Then there's obviously some more brutal ones we probably can't say on here, but some of them really get going. But I was looking at your Twitter and I thought it was pretty funny how you're saying, I'm getting so much hate online, I don't know if I can handle it anymore. Psych, bring it on. So, how do you deal with that hate online? And obviously it's a new age of hate.
Yeah.
How have you find yourself dealing with that now?
It's like what? Like what do you expect me to do? Fucking quit?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
no. Like how do I deal with it? I do. I honestly read all my fucking comments, but it's like I focus more on the positive, which I think everyone has to do. You got to focus on the positive and give that energy back to the people that are pushing that energy out there.
Definitely.
But I do retaliate to the hate because I do think it's funny.
I love when you ratio someone by like saying a comment back and then your comment gets more likes or something.
I love
on your
doing that
stories
too.
like a little thread of you like absolutely rinsing someone. it was like I've been out of jail but I don't brag about it, and you replied, you just fucking did.
Yeah. He's like, I got sober after I got out of jail and I don't brag about it online. I'm like, what are you fucking doing right now? But I do play into it also because it's good for a hero to have a villain to let the audience choose which sides they want to go on to. So coming up, we had this big hate group, Face Beef. Shout out to Tristan Barker. He's actually my mate right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've actually become friends. But this Face Beef group just wanted to destroy us and just kick us off the realm of the universe. Like they leaked our address. They came to our meet and greets and threw things at our fans. They would just go so bloody hard. And what I didn't know at the time was that Face Beef group, who had 80,000 fans just to hate on us, they built their whole reputation on hating on us, gave everybody a side to choose, which is kind of like you're playing into a drama type of thing, which is just like, it blows my mind that it was kind of like reality TV online, but it was just like be myself.
They get like nothing out of it as well. It's like, what's to win, you know?
Exactly.
Like,
what's your long-term kind of...
Like there's no money in hating, you know? Like there's nothing. Like it's a business.
No longevity.
What brand is going to sponsor that?
That's what I mean. It's like, fucking stop being a wanker and just support us, you know?
Yeah. Now, of course, I think that's just how it is. Sometimes you got to roll with the punches. If you're putting yourself out there, there's going to be some backlash. And obviously, it's a lot of people that are jealous and they don't want to see you do well because it makes them look worse at the point that they're in, and they're very jealous of that. So you just got to have, that's why I think I just have self-confidence in myself, you know, self-belief that what I'm doing, act like, you know, if I want to be an influencer, I want to be a podcaster, you act like it.
That's
you
it.
know, they're not doing what we're doing. They couldn't do what we're doing. And you just smile at the hate and say, thank you for the engagement.
Yeah, good on you, bro. Good on you. Yeah. I saw that podcast where you talked about like all the boys were like, oh, I don't get it. You just never like cared about the hate.
Exactly.
Like,
it does not phase you whatsoever. Obviously, we deal with it. We've touched on it a little bit. We deal with it so differently. As we're saying, Diezel got a bit of a hate comment. If you want to address that at all.
I don't want to pass
the moment.
Doesn't give him the time of day.
I've got a singular avid Diezel.
Yeah, we have one bloke who like, it's obviously a banner account, 0 followers, who just hates Diezel. He'll support me and Luke. He'll like say, yeah, this is good content, boys, but Diezel needs to fucking go.
It's like,
no, watch all these fake accounts now coming for you, Diezel. You're fucked.
Come at me. Fucking
it's pretty funny.
So like, obviously, 15 years down the line now, what are the rest of the Janoskians doing? Are you still like in like close to all of them, like tight as you were?
Yeah, I have to be with 2 of them because they're my brothers. I don't have a choice.
Do you live with them?
Which fucking sucks. I do. Everyone's doing really well for themselves. Everyone's focused on their own direction. And the success that they brought to the Janoskians, they're now all bringing to their own individual solo lives. So it's good to grow up and just to see everybody like living their best life. Yeah.
So there's one that does the footy with Luke, I think, is it?
Yeah.
I didn't connect that piece until, because like those videos are so satisfying.
Yeah.
Him like kicking goals from like in ridiculous angles.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah. He's Beau's brother.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Luke.
I like recognized him from somewhere, but I just thought, he's a footy player or something. And then I saw a photo of you two together. I connected the dots. I was like, holy fuck. Like,
what the hell?
Yeah, he wanted to create that without like being recognized from the Janoskians.
Yeah, well, he's done a good job.
Yeah.
It genuinely took ages for me to connect the dots. So every video he posts is on my like For You page. I'm like, it's watching the whole length of it because it's so satisfying.
As well?
Yeah, sick.
Yeah, he wears like the mic.
Yeah.
And like he's got the really ASMR kicking.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Yeah, I know that guy. Well, it's your brother. Obviously.
Yeah. Like that's exactly what I mean by like we all brought our success to the group, and now we're all like in our own lane succeeding.
Yeah.
And he's bloody killing it. And the good thing about him doing that, it's his passion. He loves to do it.
Yeah.
He's always played footy from a young age.
He's very good at it.
And like now he's created a full brand out of it.
Yeah.
And he's inspiring the youth as well, which is like always positive. Which is good.
Definitely. And growing up, obviously, with all the success you had, was there any tension between any of you brothers at all in any given point of time? Or was it always pretty jolly and jovial throughout the whole process?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Like sometimes we were at each other's throats.
Yeah.
Like we wanted to kill each other because like we grew up, I mean, we ended up living together, everyone in one house.
Yeah.
And then you mix the party life and then you mix business and then you mix just like friendship all together. And yeah, sometimes you just end up hating each other. You get into fights, which I think is just completely natural and stuff. But it did come to a point towards the end where mainly the friendships in the Janoskians kind of dwindled down because we were all stepping on eggshells around each other because we were living together and we were in each other's face constantly. And especially with all the limelight on us and the pressures that would bring, like people questioning our friendship, it would kind of like get into our heads. And especially with how much weed we were smoking, we'd overthink things. So yeah, the friendship definitely did dwindle before our eyes. And that kind of like brought the friendship group to an end, which kind of ended that era.
Did you find that like, obviously to deal with all the pressure that there did come with such fame and being in that limelight, as you said, did substance ever be a thing to deal with? Like, did you deal with the substances in a way that may not be in the best ways, like a coping mechanism for all the limelight and all the success that you had?
So the substance when we were like kicking off and we were at our peak wasn't for like a numbness or anything. It was more for we thought it was fun and it was kind of like us just going crazy and not giving a shit and like living in the moment really and not thinking about the future. So the real addiction problem started after everything ended for me. That's when I started like not caring about anything anymore and just looking forward to the weekend and getting on the bags and drinking and doing party drugs, which ended up turning into prescription pills and stuff. That was kind of the numbness of me saying I was at the world best. And now the only high that I can feel is through substance.
Yeah.
Good. Going back to LA life, was it something that you could always like? Because right now, I remember me and Luke always on the calls in like when we were early days, and we're like, we want to be someone. We're sick and tired of just living a 9 to 5 or just like playing footy, blah blah blah. We want to like be someone huge, and like Tommy would be the same. Yeah. Was there a time where you like reflected in LA and be like, fuck, like I've actually like made it here and like I've got like nothing else to prove? Did
that result in complacency?
Yeah, it did. We ended up getting too comfortable with it, for sure. It just felt like that everything that we had done and worked so hard to achieve is now we've got it and it'll always stay here because we've done the hard work. I didn't know back then you constantly have to keep working hard. It doesn't end. And when it becomes big, that's when the real hard work starts for it to be just to maintain. And for any more success to come through, you got to work hard every fucking day. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Like Justin Bieber, I'm sure, is booked from 7 a.m. in the morning all the way till night, you know, like it's just nonstop. And once you start to get complacent is when you start losing it. For sure.
Obviously when you dropped your first single,
Set This World on Fire.
Set This World on Fire. That obviously got a lot of traction from people like Justin Bieber. Did you have a relationship with Justin Bieber at all?
Like
a friendship with him that he supported you in your music career?
It was Scooter Braun, his manager, that kind of backed us.
Yeah.
He like retweeted our videos and spoke to people behind the industry like for us and stuff.
Did he try to sign you or something? Or
we were almost there.
Really?
Yeah, we were very close to getting signed.
What stopped you?
I can't say it on camera.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
yeah. I think it was a conflict of interest. I'll just say that. It was a conflict of interest. But Justin Bieber, it was funny because me and my brothers were partying in Vegas and we were in this influencer house with the Paul brothers back then. They weren't as big. Yeah. Daniel, by the way, Skip, he absolutely wrecked them in wrestling. Both of them.
Really?
One stepped in. He like wrecked him. Then the next one stepped in and he wrecked him after he was like already tired.
So he needs to get a contract. Cool. Need to get a organized fight.
He's gone in the ring. He's boxed and stuff. He's won a few fights here in Australia. But we were staying across the road from Justin Bieber's party house at the time, and we had no idea. And people were like, "Oh, do you want to come meet Justin?" And we were like, nah, we don't want to be those type of guys that like, it just seemed like, but if I was to get the opportunity now, I'd be like, fuck yeah, let's go.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
For me, that's like one person, if like could meet anyone in the world, it's probably Justin Bieber.
He's
like
he's a little Justin Bieber.
I love it. I love his music.
But he ended up messaging my brother, Jay, and he's like, we're all sitting at a Starbucks and Jay's like, oh my God. And we're like, what? He's like, Justin Bieber just fucking message. And we're like, what? What did he say? He's like, hey bro, do you want to come chill? And we're like, oh, reply. When did he send it? And he's like, 2 years ago.
No.
And we're like, no, what the fuck? You fumbled the bag again. We're like, no.
Well, he was just going through his request or something.
He was going through his requests and he was going through the verified requests. And it's like, oh, Justin Bieber.
That's fucked.
And
that is.
we were just like, bro. So crazy because all those people, like, they don't even know we exist anymore. Yeah. We were in their like little realm for like a quick second. But I love saying that story on camera just to remind Jay.
And obviously you made a lot of friendships and relationships throughout your time in LA. I'm not going to bring up ex-girlfriends or anything like that, but are you still in contact with ex-girlfriends or past relationships?
Or have they seen the content you're making now and reached out as a result?
I speak to my ex-girlfriend maybe once every 6 months when she's fighting with her.
That is so good.
I'm joking. We're on a friendship level, and she kind of respects my journey, and like she's getting married, so I can't say anything like that. We still respect each other for sure.
You'll be the altar saying, I reject.
Just come in. I've got like a couple of mates from Los Angeles, but nobody that's like famous or anything. Just mates that like I used to hang out with and do shit with, kick it with and stuff like that.
Awesome.
Now, huge question. Could you, all of this past and present, whatever, it's happened now. Everything's in the past.
Yeah.
Is there a potential possibility that the Janoskians could rekindle and do all the funny shit that they used to do and try to create like something big?
I appreciate that, brother. And I'm sorry to let you down. I'm sorry to let you down. I appreciate that you guys loved our friendship. So I hope that the legend can live on forever, because I think that would be much better than,
I think that'll be better than probably a reboot.
Because
even if it is a reboot in a more mature content type setting, I think that the fact that it's like almost a legend, as you summed it up, will live on longer and more powerful than a reboot probably will.
And like I want to focus on my stuff, and I want to bring my message on board, and like I know how hard I can work, and it's hard to bring up a whole group that doesn't see what I see. And at the moment I just see one path, and I don't know if anyone is like inclined to join that, but I just want to keep focusing on myself. I get that question a lot. Like, do you think the Janoskians will ever come back? I'm like, yeah, it's if you'd like to see it, like the videos will always be up there for sure.
Do you have access? I think I heard a video where you've lost like everything on the YouTube side. Is that no?
No, we've still got the accounts and stuff.
Do you still get royalties from music and YouTube or nah?
Nah, we haven't checked our accounts or maybe
you might have a big check in there.
I don't know, maybe. But I know a lot of the videos are getting taken down now because it's in a different era and the jokes.
The comedy's kind of past.
Yeah, the comedy's past.
I was seeing some of like could do that now.
It's very Chris Lilly, like it's very that type of considerate.
Yeah. Okay.
Type of thing.
And your hat. So the brand on your hat, this is yours, is it?
Yeah, this is my brand.
So you want to tell us what's going on there, the journey and goals for Look Up?
Yeah, for sure. Look Up is a brand that I started about 7 months ago. I started building it. I created a YouTube channel called Look Up with Beau just to kind of put all these stories out there that people are asking me and to try and tell them like how I've came out of the depths of despair. And the only thing that you can do when you're down in the depths is to look up and to look forward. So the brand just came organically and naturally. And I've always loved making clothes. In high school, I was always like, I don't know if you guys remember the Janoskians era were Vans, snapbacks, singlets, shorts, and penny boards. So we kind of brought a fashion and nobody knew this, but when I was in high school, I always was really looking at the details at like the Vans or like the Nike Janoski shoes. And I've always had something for fashion. So clothing has come like naturally to me with everything that I'm doing just because I like to wear cool shit. And to have a brand name called Look Up, something that just brings everything all together and
resonates with yourself.
It resonates with myself. It's like, I don't even try to sell it. Like I don't even come online and be like, we just blah, blah, it's just like, if people want to buy it,
you are selling it though. I've seen videos like of like you packing orders, like you're doing a good job. It's crushing it. With your minimal marketing, as you just said as well.
Last week, like I got 15 orders, which is like, I went to the post office and she's like, are you busy? I'm like, yeah, like I've just finished my 9 to 5 and I'm sending out these. And she's like, yeah, that's good. Like it is something on the side, but it's like bringing in more income than my 9 to 5.
Yeah, exactly. Opening up another stream of income, which is what everyone's trying to do, I guess. Exactly. And you're doing it with like almost effortless. And it's like, to have it being like bought in by something as special to you as that is, then that's pretty special. And you keep going. I guess people are supporting it, so keep building it.
Yeah, thank you. No worries. If you guys want to buy it,
see,
I hate that type of stuff.
No, do it. Seriously.
Honestly, like even back in the Janoskian days, we like my mum would always be like, "Take the brand deal, take the brand deal," and we're like, "No, we don't want to sell out." Like it's just like for me, it's always being like cringe. But if people want to buy it, they can. That's sweet.
Everyone get around it.
Don't buy that comfiest hat. It looks really cool.
It looks so comfy, fits your head so well, and so obviously. You're opened up and more diverse stream of content in what you're pushing out to the world. What does like 5 years from now look like for you in terms of A, content, B, where you are in life, anything else?
That's a cool question. I think hopefully by then, like 10 Ironmans. I'd like to do two a year.
We haven't touched on that. We'll touch on that after this.
Yeah. I'd love to just like keep getting PBs in my running. I really want to get into music again, to be honest. And
I play drums.
Oh, okay. Sick. That's actually really good to know.
Remember one time I was in his house and it's like 3 a.m, got woke up to someone playing the drums. Like, he's playing the drums right now. I go into his room and he's just jamming away, having a great time.
Awesome. So now I know a drummer for any upcoming projects. That'd be so dope. I think music would be really cool. I'd love to just keep on every single day challenging myself and putting myself forward. And I don't know what will come in the next 5 years, but I'm excited for it. I know that big things will come because with this mindset,
100%.
Within like just 14 months, like this month, I've already done like 10 podcasts. Like I don't know, I can't plan for it, but I will plan to challenge myself every day, get myself out of my fucking comfort zone. And just keep speaking and sharing my message for sure.
Love that. 100%. And we'll go back to like the running. Is running something you're always passionate about, or have you just picked it up in the last 5 years?
Nah, since high school.
Yeah.
I was like the chubby kid at school. Yeah. So I do it in my private time. And then I started getting recognized by like my PE teacher and stuff. And he's like in front of the whole class, like, oh, I've seen Beau running like after school and stuff. He's really putting in the effort. And like that kind of inspired me too, knowing that I was inspiring others to get out there and run.
Yeah.
But it was always off and on. And about 6 years ago, I started training seriously for like a half marathon. And then I did a half marathon and I busted my knee. So I was out for like so long and I got scared of running. So I've only picked it up within the past 6 months again. I've ran a marathon so far. And right now I'm training for a 100-kilometer run in December, which is from Craigieburn to Geelong.
Yeah. And is that organised, or is it just an event you're doing by yourself?
It's just something I'm doing by myself. Just something.
You'll get support either way, I think.
We'll support you. That will be.
Yeah. Oh, cheers.
Be at checkpoints.
We can do like little stopover interviews and shit. That'd be
that's good.
So has fitness and running kind of become an outlet for you now?
Yeah. It's kind of like I've traded my bad addictions for good addictions. So it's still kind of that high relief for me. I do it every single day. It's something that I feel like I need to do to set me into a good mood. If you see me walking, I'm literally, if I'm not running, I'm pretty much limping every single day. Yeah. My muscles are always wrecked, but it's just something that I wear with pride. Like that limp, like it just gives me such a confidence to say that like I can fuck myself up and still keep going.
Yeah. So another one, now, you're a pretty busy guy. Everything on your plate, you said you've done 10 podcasts this month.
Yeah.
How is your love life at the moment? Do you have time for someone else? Is that a priority for you at the moment? Or are you trying to like just focus on yourself for a bit and trust the process on that?
Yeah, I do. I do have my heart out there for someone else. Currently seeing someone. We're on our 11th date.
Oh,
so yeah, we're still counting. I don't know when the counting will stop.
Take it to Yoshi.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it to Yoshi. See you there. Get some gummy bears and some vanilla ice cream.
Fuck yeah, I love that. Happy for you.
Thank you. Yeah. It's different for me because it's something that I'm taking kind of slow. Yeah. By now I would have already said I love you and do you want to be my girlfriend? Yeah. By the 11th day easily, but this is something that I see I want to take into the future long term. Yeah. So I'm just like taking it slow and enjoying it and
shout out whoever you are. Yeah. Shout out.
Well, you're better than Diezel. He says I love you on the first date.
Tough situation.
Fuck yeah.
What happened? Did you?
Oh, that's the worst. No, I didn't.
I love you.
All right. So as everyone's aware, we got a very popular segment. It's called True or Not True, where we call out the boys on some of their antics recently. And boy, do I have some for you this week. So let's get into this.
Luke's a journalist.
He is. He's getting better.
Here we go. Tom, despite claiming there's been no contact, true or not true, you were at a particular ex's house last night in which you cooked a 4-course meal for
Did you actually?
What a gentleman.
First of all, it's not an ex. It's an ex talking stage, if you put it like that. So I never dated her. And yes, we touched on this last week. It's going well. Very happy. So and I didn't cook any meals.
So it is true, and you are rekindling the flame.
Yeah, that's true. Well done, mate. You found that out.
Wait, where did the 4-course meal come from?
He's fucking mate. Someone will tell him, "Oh yeah, Tom was at a girl's house last night," and he does the rest. He throws the rest on.
So
where'd you get it from?
Was it vodka pasta? Was that?
Oh, that was 2 weeks ago. I cooked that 2 weeks ago.
He hasn't cooked for us yet.
Oh wow, chef.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Diezel, true or not true, you had a run-in with Southland's finest security guard where a on-foot pursuit had been taken place through the car park because apparently, according to sources, that you were blocking the way for an ambulance that was soon to be parked in the spot that you parked.
So the ambulance was there. Is that
True or not?
It's kind of true.
Because Diezel, wow, you're telling me you were not getting out of the way.
Right, I'm going to put this out. You were in like an ambulance zone. A security guard came up. You refused to move, so you ran.
No, put it like that. No, I was driving. I was on the phone to one of my friends, and all of a sudden, this like security guard smacks on my window, and he's just like, move, like swearing, mouthing off. And I'm like, who the are you to touch my window? I'm like, don't fuck it. Like, I was just going off. Like, I don't know why. He was like so aggressive. And my mate's like, you good? Anyways, that happened. I drove off. I should have just drove off first place. But we were on the escalator going down, and I'm telling the boys this story. And as we're going down, the security guard's coming up. So I look the security guard in the eye, and I'm like, hey, going. Tom in the background's like, pussy.
Yeah. Anyway, well, Beau, you haven't dodged a bullet yet. True or not true? You had a secret relationship with Ariana Grande. Oh.
Look, it was while my brother was broken up with her.
Oh, that is great.
No, I didn't, but I always viewed her as kind of like a sister, which is kind of hot. No, but yeah, no, that's not true. No, false. False.
Well, that's it for today's True or Not. So send me in any sightings of the boys, because I will make a story out of it, and I will get to the bottom of what happened.
I feel like buzz names like that, Ariana Grande, like anyone would probably like faint at the chance to meet someone like that. Is it kind of like numb to you in the sense that you knew someone like that so well, or like Ed Sheeran, people like that? Like, is it kind of just like doesn't hit the same with you as would other people because you experienced everything? Or
no, yeah, for me, because it gets brought up so much because she is such a big like celebrity.
Yeah.
I kind of live in her shadow.
Yeah.
It's something that I've had to learn to appreciate, as weird as it sounds, almost like she's a member of my family.
Yeah.
Like she's an entity that will never leave my life. So the only thing that I can do is look at it with love and positivity, and to say that, wow, like this great icon has been like a big part of my life. And so as much as like it can bother me, I choose not to let it bother me, and to just like be grateful for the experience, and that, you know, I'm representing her as much as like she's representing me, but not as much.
Yeah. 100%. Nah, it's good.
Fuck, that's great.
Yeah. It's crazy though. Like, as I said before, anyone would like, even like the Ed Sheeran, just like float past that on the way and like,
Be very lightly throwing these names around.
Yeah. It's just like crazy that you guys had those experiences. And does it feel like almost you've lived 3 or 4 lives? Because I feel like you've done shit. You've had a record deal. You've been on top of the pranking world. You've been a YouTuber.
Now I'm running 100 kilometers.
Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
It's a Forrest Gump movie, man.
Does it feel like you've lived like 4 lifetimes?
Yeah, I've done so much in my life, and
you're only like a quarter of the way through. You're not even halfway.
It's crazy because this is what life is. You can make life whatever you want it to be. You can have so many different experiences. You can have a lot of positive experiences if you just put your mind to it and you try and take everything that life can offer, because it's limitless.
Yeah.
And there's probably going to be another 30 more stories to come.
100%. End up back in America, end up anywhere. We'll get you on like a year's time, see what stories you got.
End up in North Korea with Kim Jong-un for some reason.
I saw that I think your brother Jai made a video a year ago about just talking about his painting and stuff. And in that he says that you guys bought a house, which I presume where you all live now, from the Janoskian money.
Yeah.
Is that like, you grateful you did that?
Yeah, it was the last pretty much thing that we did with our money, because a lot of the time we were either blowing it or investing it back into the business. Yeah. So like we didn't buy the house outright, but we had enough money to put down a nice deposit on the house for my mum.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. A few of my clips that have gone viral on Instagram within the past month is I say, I'm 31 years old. I don't have a car. I'm living at home and I just got fired from my job. Everyone's like, oh, you're a fucking burden on your parents because you live at home and you're 31. No one knows that.
House for them.
No one knows that. And I'm just like looking at the comments quietly like,
yeah, exactly. Like, fuck, gotcha.
No one knows my story.
Yeah.
Cast out the bait. Gotcha.
I did that with the Daily Mail as well. So they picked up that I got fired on the peanut factory and then they posted an article saying, oh, megastar gets fired from a peanut factory, which is funny. I laughed about it. So I knew they were watching my shit. So the next story I made on my Instagram reel that kind of blew up is got fired from the peanut factory, but now I have a new job making cat food. I pissed that out of my ass. I just made that shit up, but I did get another job, but not making cat food. Daily Mail picked up on it again. I'm like, yes.
So you get, how does that work? Because I've seen people like the Daily Mail is just so opportunistic and like writing articles about people, but I've seen TikToks of like people like emailing and getting paid. Like,
really?
Getting paid for like using their image or something.
Oh, okay.
Is that something you've done? Like, I don't know. No. I'm waiting for them to pick up a clip that we've done or something and post it. So I can try it out.
I believe I'm not too sure, but if they use a clip of you, you can.
Or like your image.
Their image, you can ask for
to be compensated. Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like $800 or something. Like, fuck.
Like that,
you should try.
Nah, because then they won't do it again. They won't post me again. And I love feeding into the narrative of whatever they have to say. It's just the same way I love like the hate and the love. Like it all comes together. They're just like building the story for me, which is fun. It's all fun for me.
Yeah.
From, I don't know if you want to not touch on this or anything, but from a parent's point of view, your mother obviously raising the kids and having fame and kind of watching it from like the background.
Yeah.
How does she cope with everything? Because like mothers are a like key attribute to a son's life. You know, like, I'm a real mama's boy. And I'm sure these boys are as well. But like, was she scared? Like, how do you think she was feeling like through the whole like emotion of like everything?
Mum was always, and I'm sure your mum too, has just always been so excited for all my wins and for my success. She'd always celebrate with us, but at the same time, like mums are the dragons. They're the keepers
keep you grounded.
Yeah, they keep you grounded, and they also like blow fire at anyone that tries to come and take you away from her. So when we first got signed, she was super hesitant, and she was actually upset that like we were letting a man, which she had protected from us for our whole life, a man to come into our lives and like, you know, take us away from her and almost like take advantage of like our success and our wins and stuff. So she was very upset and but at the same time happy for us. And then when we came out of that and I came back home and I was like, you know, doing a lot of drugs and alcohol, she was always like you can, like, what are you doing? Like you can do so much better. So she was not upset, but more so supportive of me the whole way, the entire way. And now she's like proud, like more than proud, and just happy for all my wins again.
And I think for her to just accept that you're doing these things, but then kind of like being the background voice, like what are you doing? That plays a big role with like parents, because I know if my mum like was to ever be in the situation and if she told me like, you're an idiot, blah, 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 like, get the fuck, like kind of like neglect you from her. I'd make me just like distance myself from her, you know? So I think the way your mum has handled everything in the situations, not judging you for who you are and just kind of accepting you for what has come. Like she's probably half the reason of why you are here today.
100%, man. Yeah, like she's a very big reason why I'm here today. She's always been that woman in my life, you know?
Shout out to all the mums.
Love you, mummy.
Thank you so much for listening to episode number 5. Can't even believe we're saying episode number 5. Gosh. Anyway, so thank you everyone for listening.
It was great to have Beau on. Obviously, as I touched on before, I was a massive fan of you growing up, and I'm a bigger fan of what you're doing now.
Thank you, mate. Cheers.
So it's an honor to have you on, and
huge honor. So thank
Means
you.
a lot, boys.
We really appreciate it.
We'll get you on in a year. I reckon you'll have a couple more stories by the way your life's gone.
Sounds good. You boys just keep killing it because you guys are doing real good and you're way above your age. Like you guys are way more wiser than what you guys know. And thank you for giving me the stage, setting up the stage for me and hearing me out. You know, keep choosing amazing guests like me.
Exactly right, man.
We're only building, so you're the best we've had.
Oh, awesome. Fuck yeah.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
So,
I wish my girlfriend said the same thing about me.
All right. Cheers, guys. See ya.
Thanks, lads.
Fuck yeah.
That's my favorite.
so much. Thank you.
That's my favorite fucking podcast.
Fuck yeah,
really
bro.
appreciate it.
That was awesome.